Welcome back, chefs, to this week's episode. This week, we are continuing our hot takes thread. I believe this is number 3, and we've got some crazy ones lined up. We have a whole lot of things we're going to be covering, and just to put it out there right now, we are back in the studio, face-to-face, me and Jacob.
Matching outfits
even, and a construction zone right behind us. So please stick through this episode. It's a really fun one. I'd say I like this one even better than last week's episode.
Very informative.
And we take a lot more educational takes from this one as well.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's cook.
Living in a daydream. Ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
Good morning, Jacob.
Do less, God bless.
Yeah, you got me this sweatshirt. Yeah. What's his name? Trey Kennedy.
He has a podcast called Correct Opinions.
I've never listened to it.
Which is hilarious.
I bet anything he does
like
is
this,
hilarious.
he kind of just reads crazy takes and just spikes some controversial discussions in his comments.
I love Trey Kennedy.
Yeah. Do less, God bless. I think it's a good mantra for our industry to live by. Just do less.
Yeah. Good mantra for our podcast as well.
Yeah, do
We're
less.
literally doing the minimum.
Yeah.
Today we're just reading comments.
Yeah.
Playing off of what we did last week, right? This is going to be Hot Takes Part 3.
Part 3. Naming names once again.
Yeah, we'll name names.
And per request of Jay from Jeffrey and Mac Films, we're together again.
Yeah. This is solely because Jay.
Yeah. This will never happen again, Jay. At least not in this place.
Yeah, this studio is...
It's a construction zone right now.
Literally. We're looking at a huge set they're trying to build. And the guy came by and he's building more sets outside. Yeah. So if you hear some drills, we're sorry. There's nothing we can do about it.
Nothing.
Landon,
you'll probably hear some power tools. So
Landon won't bring the construction guy back out because he has to pay him by day.
I get it. No, that's fine.
I get sense. You. I wouldn't either.
It works economically.
You got any fun plans for Valentine's Day?
No.
Me neither.
Got a date with my barber.
With your barber?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Wow.
Got a haircut tomorrow.
Probably go to dinner.
Yeah, I think we usually make like mini homemade pizzas on Valentine's Day.
Really?
And watch a movie. Yeah.
What movie?
I don't know. It's kind of our Valentine's. We just kind of get Harmon stuff, make little pizzas, pepperonis.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like a good pizza.
It's no T-hand pizza, but it's home.
A pizza.
It's lazy mini pizzas.
Hey, we like that though. Pizza's a pizza.
I don't know, not huge Valentine's Day people.
I feel like more and more people are starting to celebrate it though.
Yeah.
I feel like he was dead there for a couple years.
Yeah.
But I feel like people now have all their like Christmas. I've seen people with Christmas lights.
Yeah, I've been seeing that everywhere. Our whole street is pink and white Christmas lights.
Huh.
Like everyone has
Interesting.
them. We're the only one who doesn't.
Yeah. We're probably not going to do much for Valentine's. We'll probably do the same thing. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a pizza and a movie night.
Sounds great.
Why not? That sounds amazing, actually.
Guys, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Welcome back to the kitchen. If you're listening to this on Valentine's Day, it's safe to say you're alone. And you have nobody else except for us. Just kidding.
Yeah.
We were taught by Luke Yamada, Geisentines.
You what?
Geisentines.
What's that?
It's like when the bros hang out on Valentine's Day because they're all single. Like Geisentines.
Because they have Galentines.
Galentines, yeah. So Geisentines, yeah.
I'd be down for a little Geisentines.
Yeah.
What would we do? Just cook some brisket?
Yeah. Well, we have Valentine's. We have Kayla and Kenzie. Geisentines is for like the single bros who have no one else to.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, I feel like married women still do Galentines.
But when guys do it, it's like sad.
That's true, huh?
It's a day about love and you're all just hanging out together.
That's true.
Yeah. No offense if you're a guy who actually enjoys Geisentines.
Yeah, no offense, no judgment here. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be a good day.
Yeah. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Well into February. But yeah, like Nate said, we're going to go back to hot takes. We're going to be reading, continuing the post from our Facebook group, naming names, calling people out, and just kind of diving into some of these takes and giving our 2 cents about some of these takes, which there's some good takes. I'm excited to dive more into Matthew Reed's takes because I like his takes a lot.
Dude is unhinged.
Yeah, Matthew's unhinged in our group. If you guys want to join our Facebook group, again, participate in these discussions. We'll link that below. But let's start off with a hot one from Emily Glod. Emily is from Wild and Rome. We are speaking at their retreat, their cruise this year. Good friends of ours have associate shot for us. And we're going to start off the podcast today with her hot take, which is, and I think we've talked about this before, I am tired of father and bridesmaids' first looks. Let's at least make them natural looking, i.e. dad walking in the door and seeing bride and not super staged. And the first comment is, agree with this. What are your thoughts on daddy-daughter first looks? Because we filmed our fair share of those.
Yeah. We have filmed quite a bit. I've really liked some of them.
Oh, man. The first one that came to mind, Belknap.
Yeah. Belknap, but
That's
also
like the apex of the video.
it really was. It really
Because
was.
of how beautiful that first look was.
The Belknap. And that was right when we were starting Runaway Vows. We did the Belknap. And that like popped off and it started going like viral.
Arguably one of my favorite first looks ever.
Oh, it was incredible.
On top of like bride and groom first looks, that first look was one of my favorites.
I would say before that moment, I would agree with this, but now I'm more leaning towards it kind of depends on the wedding. Depends on the father. Because we've had some fathers who, bless their heart, they just turn around and they're like, they don't know how to be emotional with their daughter. And like, wow.
Right.
But we've had some dads just tear up and it's the most beautiful Belknaps.
Yeah. Well, a common theme, I think, with last week's hot takes and this discussion, and I think a lot of these things that we're going to read today, is a lot of the times when it's like this, like it's like me and my dad are so close, like this first look would be amazing, versus like, I want to do a daddy-daughter first look because I saw it on Pinterest, or it's what we should do, you know?
Right.
And I think a lot of brides wish it was more of a moment than the dad actually turns it into be. And I don't know if you blame the bride for that, for wanting it, you know, it's her day. Why not have a daddy-daughter first look? That's what you want.
Right.
But it's like, well, what if your dad just is kind of make it worse than, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know how to.
I
also
think,
loved, another favorite of mine was the Colorado one we just did.
Yeah, that was a
Mason
good
and
one.
Jeff's wedding. That was a good one. Because it was like natural. It was what Emily said. Like she walked out, the dad was there, and it was just like, oh my gosh, you know.
Right. We've also done some more staged ones. The first one that came to my mind was the Cabo one. Remember when she walked down and her bridesmaids were at the bottom of the stairs and they turned around?
Yeah.
I thought that was really pretty. Even though it was kind of a staged thing.
Yeah.
It still turned out good.
Yeah, those girls did a good job.
They did do a good job.
Yeah.
I would say I agree in so much as the dad's ability to be emotional.
Yeah. Hold on. I think I'm going to sneeze.
Mixed in with the staple gun in the background.
I'm good. Yeah. Guys, again, sorry about the construction, but it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's a hot take, but I do agree. I think, but I could pick out every part of the wedding day and think, you know what, without the right intention, that it just always falls flat.
I wouldn't say I'm tired of it though.
No.
If you see it with the dad, it's like, okay, sick. We're going to mic him up. Mm-hmm. This could be really good. Mm-hmm. Could be really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right.
I'm lukewarm about that one.
Yeah.
Who we got next?
We should give ratings to these.
We got a Matthew Reed.
Also, I didn't tell you I finished The Bear.
You finished The Bear.
Yeah.
How about that finale?
Finale was mid.
The last
episode was mid.
The last 15 minutes.
Mid.
You're kidding.
Why was he in the freezer the entire time?
But like that,
I wanted to see him take Jar to the kitchen, but I understand why he didn't.
But like that whole dialogue between him and Cuz, was that not incredible?
Oh, just the F word every other word.
Just screaming at each other.
Yeah, I wanted it to end with like maybe some crying hugs or something.
I thought that was a great episode.
I liked
the mom showing up but not telling him.
Didn't go in. Yeah.
I thought that was a great episode. I thought it was a fantastic episode.
I thought the Forks episode was probably my favorite episode ever of television.
That was the one after Thanksgiving?
With Cousin having to go polish forks.
That was a great one.
I learned a lot. In fact, I want our team to watch it. How can we apply this to Runaway Vows? Because there's a lot of, just when they said we're in the hospitality business, I'm like, so are we.
I actually bought that book after that episode. It's Unreasonable Hospitality, the yellow and black book. I saw him reading it. I'm like, and I bought it, started reading it just because of that episode.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
My dad loves that book.
Oh, it's actually really good. But
anyway,
the Thanksgiving episode,
I think I wanted to see Carmi take charge of the kitchen and just be the man.
Yeah.
And then what's her name didn't do a good job.
Sydney?
Hasn't done a good job for 2 seasons.
I don't like Sydney.
And I did like Rich stepping in. and being the expediter. But I was like, it's not your job. Anyway, we can talk about TV shows later. Sorry.
But the Thanksgiving episode was really good.
That was crazy.
That was so good.
An hour.
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. All right, moving on to Matthew Reed.
Okay, Matthew Reed. Here we go.
Is that the next on your list too?
This one is absolutely hilarious. Handheld only videographers are the new natural light only photographers.
That's so savage.
There was a time when that was really hot, in the bio was natural light only photographer. And now he's saying that the handheld only videographers are using that as their staple.
Yeah.
They might as well put that in their bio.
Yeah. Well, and my comment on this was a lot of handheld videographers shoot handheld incorrectly.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Like I think there's a certain like a gimbal, like a glide cam, like a monopod. There's a right and a wrong way to do that tool.
Yeah.
And handheld isn't just like it's not easier. It's actually harder, and you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And there are very few, in my opinion, who actually do it correctly.
You got to be a lot more strict with composition with handheld. And just to say it, you're not Jay and Mac.
Yeah,
Most people
I
think
tagged
they
them.
are.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. JMac are a good example of people who do it correctly.
Right. They do it correctly and everyone sees it. We fell prey to this. We're like, man.
Yeah, we tried it.
Yeah, we're like, we want to do more handheld stuff. And we tried to be Jay and Mac and it didn't work for us. So
Because you need to put the practice in.
Yeah.
You have to learn the movements. It's just a whole new skill set you have to learn.
Yeah. And you watch like a Netflix documentary and you're like, it's handheld. Look at that, babe.
When really it's just on an easy rig.
Yeah, it's on an easy rig
Yeah.
and it's a full set.
Yeah.
And they do multiple takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think it was a hilarious comparison.
Calling out the
though.
natural light only photographers is wild.
Comparing those two groups.
Yeah. Because, and I think, again, same thing. I think people thought natural light was easy because if someone blew up as a natural light photographer and it looked easy because it was less gear, and then everyone started doing natural light incorrectly. Same with handheld. Like it looks easier, but it's actually not.
Yeah. In theory, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think,
In
It's actually not.
theory.
You have to edit. It's harder to edit.
Yeah.
Might be easier to shoot, but you have to know how to edit that stuff. It's a
Yeah.
whole different way to edit.
Yeah.
You have to hold your takes longer.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
It is a long learning curve. That's for sure. That was
Natural light
that was
only.
hilarious though.
Yeah. Matthew's unhinged.
I totally forgot about that group of people, the natural light only photographers, until this comment.
Yeah.
Ruthless.
All right. You don't have to like, this is from Adam Grumbo.
Our boy.
And Adam comments, I got to sneeze so bad.
Sneeze. I'm going to take a sip of
I just
some-
lost my spot. All right. Adam Grumbo. I'm finding it. All right. You don't have to like doing weddings to make amazing films. I think Adam's projecting here that he doesn't like weddings.
But I 100% agree.
Really?
I do. But with an asterisk here.
Yeah.
I think that the better you get at something, the more you like it. So Adam's great at weddings, and I'm sure he enjoys it to an extent now. But I think just starting out, you maybe have to have a little bit of passion. But a job is a job. It's going to become
That's
a
what I
job.
was going to say. Yeah.
And you don't have to have that passion behind it. It can just be your means of making money. And you can just be a sole businessman.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the
And I think if you're somebody who needs to really enjoy your job and be passionate about your job, then this might not be for you if you're not something you're passionate about doing. Depends on the person. But correct. Your enjoyment level at a wedding shouldn't dictate the product your clients get. It should be good no matter what.
Yeah.
You know? And if you truly don't like doing weddings, but liking your job is important to you, then change jobs.
Yeah. I think it's also because, for example, with a 9-to-5 job, let's just say like a software engineering job, it's very common for people to get there and not actually like doing their job, but they're stuck there because they went to college and they got a degree, so they feel they need to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas with the wedding videography business, there's hardly any, I can't think of a single person. You don't just stumble into a wedding videography career. You have to make a very deliberate choice. I'm doing this because I like doing it. So everyone comes into the career because I think they like it. And then it just became this, you have to love it. You're a creative person. They're beautiful and this. But I would consider myself one of those people that I enjoy doing it. And I still do enjoy doing it, but it's more of a means to an end.
Yeah. Yeah, I think very few weddings throughout the year actually make me like absolutely in love with the job.
I agree.
But most of them, I just am like, I do enjoy filming events. And I think if you're good at something, you naturally just enjoy doing that thing.
Yeah.
And so every time we film a wedding, I do enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only a few a year where I'm like passionately invested.
I
Like,
agree.
oh my gosh, this is
I
so
agree.
fulfilling. The rest is just like super fun. It's a job.
Yeah.
It's a cool job. But the paycheck is why I'm doing it.
Right. No, our Colorado wedding just recently, that I loved that wedding. That was one where we just had fun.
That was one of the best weddings.
That was a great
Carly
wedding.
made that wedding.
Carly made that a fantastic
She was
wedding.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great wedding.
Yeah.
And I think it showed in the work.
Awesome couple, awesome wedding, awesome details. Yeah. But to Adam's credit too, like if you're not feeling it at a wedding,
Mm-hmm.
that's not like, you shouldn't let that dictate how you work.
Right.
You should still put your 10 out of 10 effort into
You
it.
should have your systems in place. Yeah. Okay, is it my turn to read?
Let's skip the Anthony Wright one.
Yeah, because I disagree with that one.
We've just talked about it before. All right.
All right. Who are we on? Isaac?
Yeah.
Ooh, Isaac Ballington coming in hot. He says, people need to stop saying their work is, quote, cinematic when it isn't. We need to have like 80% less slow motion. Getting ready shots are usually not very important and contribute very little to the film.
There's kind of two takes in there.
There's a
One, the word cinematic.
right.
Three, actually. Two, abolish slow motion,
Slow
which we've already
motion
addressed
and
last
getting
week.
ready
And three,
shots.
getting ready shots.
A lot to unpack.
I love getting ready shots.
Me too.
Arguably one of my favorite parts of the day.
Same. We're so creative.
Like, I
with
agree, it
those.
doesn't contribute anything to the film. You don't need it. We've
yeah.
shot weddings where we don't even get that footage. But I kind of enjoy that part of the day. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to document.
It's stress free, and we're
Yeah.
always like creative. We're like
It's
shooting
just
the
fun.
weirdest stuff.
You just have fun for a second. And also, I feel like it's like a great icebreaker moment with you and
Right.
the couple. So I enjoy that part of the
I
day.
do too.
I
do
agree,
too.
though, it doesn't contribute anything.
I can agree with that.
But I also like showing the venue getting ready, the bride getting ready, the groom getting ready, and then all of it coming together
Right.
as like a story.
Telling the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the, we talked about this in last episode.
Slow motion,
We need
80%.
like 80%.
I can agree with slow motion, 80%.
It's hard to put a hard limit on it though. Where'd the 80% come from?
It depends on your style. Like,
Yeah. I think
it just depends on your style.
I think our boy Isaac just threw out a random number there. 80%. Sure.
Yeah.
Depends on your style. If
Some
you want-
couples love slow motion.
Yeah. There's a,
So who are you to deny them
Right.
what they love?
and people need to stop saying their work is cinematic.
That word
when
is
it just
overused.
Isn't. It is overused.
Yeah.
What is cinematic? What's the definition
know.
these days?
I don't know anymore.
Just slow motion,
Yeah,
glide
I
cam,
think, my
gimbal.
definition would be like a well-composed, well-lit shot.
Mhm.
And that rarely is the case in like probably 98% of wedding films I
'Cause you're
watch.
just running gun.
It's an event. You're documenting an event.
Real life. Yeah, real life.
Unless you're
coverage.
like Aaron Tharp and everything you point your camera at looks like a frame out of a Netflix special.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. That word's been overused.
I wouldn't say it's a hot take though. I feel like most people would agree.
Yeah, Isaac, I agree with you.
Kind of a cold take there, Isaac,
Yeah.
with the cinematic.
Cold take. We all agree with you.
Everyone's going to agree with that one.
Yeah, I agree. 3 takes in 1. I like it.
Yeah.
Isaac, your profile picture is actually dope though.
What is that?
It's very soft lighting. Kind of gives that Floberg vibe.
It's
Like,
like-
big
it's like-
fan.
Peter Vanderwaal's
Yeah, kind of
profile
does.
picture.
Big vibe.
Okay.
Marcus Mazzano, good friend of ours. I love Marcus. Wedding filmmakers and narrative filmmakers are in completely different universes of skill sets.
I have a long little thread here with
Yeah,
Marcus.
please read your comment here.
I do think it's a good take, but it's one of those things like, who's saying this? Who's arguing this?
I would never ever group event filmmakers and narrative filmmakers in the same
Right. So I disagreed with
event
him.
videographers.
Right.
Excuse me. And I know I've said before, we're wedding filmmakers, not videographers. I've come around to the fact that no, we are just event videographers.
Right, we're event videographers.
Yeah.
And I disagreed with Marcus, and I think maybe on the wrong terms. I think it took us a sec to really get on the same page because, yeah, wedding filmmakers,
Oh, you have a thread.
event filmmakers, and narrative filmmakers, of course, they're in a different universe.
Yeah.
They're basketball players and football players, different
Yeah.
universe. But I disagreed on the premise that I believe wedding videographers, event videographers are taught more skill sets than any other filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
I think you learn when we got the gig with
Jack of
Larev,
all trades, master of none.
when we got the gig with Larev at Fountain Blue, they hired a team of
Event.
filmmakers,
Event
wedding
videographers,
filmmakers. Exactly. And we crushed it. I would like to say that everyone would agree.
Think so.
Everyone crushed it.
Yeah.
And Elaine from KEJ pointed out it's crazy to see
Yeah.
that we are all wedding filmmakers.
Yeah, I love what she said. What did she say exactly? She was like, the fact that this was pulled off by event filmmakers
Right.
or event videographers
Right.
alone is wild.
And we were covering
And
all sorts of stuff.
event photographers, wedding photographers handled that event.
Exactly. And we were covering concerts, we were covering interviews, we were covering live
Red
events,
carpets.
red carpets, audio. And so that's where I disagreed with him, was that I believe wedding filmmakers can be pretty solid narrative filmmakers. Sure, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I don't think it's exactly fair to
Right.
separate them.
Well, and please, if you're an narrative filmmaker, you're going to take offense to this,
Yeah.
please understand where this is coming from. But I think it's easier for an event filmmaker to step into a narrative filmmaking space. Sorry, I'm going to use the word videographer. An event videographer step into a narrative filmmaking set. Actually, I disagree. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I think an event videographer would have a shorter learning curve stepping into a narrative space than a production filmmaker
Right.
stepping into live event filmmaking.
Oh yeah, see that's interesting. See, what I said in the thread was I believe that wedding filmmakers stepping into a narrative filmmaking space would be much easier than someone like a product videographer who just does commercial shoots, close-ups on
okay.
makeup and supplements, stepping into a narrative filmmaking space.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I think wedding filmmaking, event filmmaking is the best transition to any other set.
Yeah. Well, that's why you talked about what got you into this in the first place. That's why I gravitated towards weddings. In my first year, I tried music videos, I tried product videos, I tried commercials, I tried real estate. But my passion, my dream as a kid was always to be doing narrative filmmaking. And I haven't really done much of it, but like that was always like what got me into filmmaking in the first place. And I feel like the wedding world was the closest I could get to that. That would pay the bills the fastest, because it allowed me to tell stories, document, create a narrative, and edit it in a way that people like would enjoy.
All right. Okay, the next one we got, I'm super excited about this one. Well, this is from our good friend and
Colleague.
yeah. I was looking for the word. Thank you. From Taylor Petrinovich.
I don't know why I always said Petrinovich.
I always thought it was Petrinovich.
Petrinovich is how it's
Petrinovich.
spelled. So
Yeah.
all right.
But no, Petrinovich sounds easier. She said, too much focus on gear and technicality, not enough focus on the business parts of running a business.
I agree.
Jason,
Oh.
I tried a podcast about this. It didn't do well.
Is that the business podcast that didn't do well?
I'm guessing it was just an episode he did about
Jason
being
knows his
busy.
business.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Yeah. Too much focus on gear and technicality, not enough on
Yeah.
the business parts.
And,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And my comment on this was eye candy just sells.
It does.
So if you want to talk about business, it's not as attractive as saying like, look at this before and after the color grade.
Right.
You know, one just is so much more eye candy, and eye candy will always sell. But like, and I think what I learned with our courses and working at FTF is it boggled my mind when, and also before I get on this rant,
Please.
the attractive eye candy things are usually easier and should be lower value because they appeal to a lot more people, versus the business appeals to people who are a lot more serious about taking their stuff to the next level and making it a career, not just like something that pays the bills.
Right.
And so I think they should always be separated. I think because, I mean, think about the amount of beginners who want to learn ISO, shutter speed, color grading, but then the amount of people who are actually like, well, how do I scale my business as an entrepreneur? And they look at this as an entrepreneurship and not as like a wedding videographer. Those people are much smaller of a group than the other people. And because of that, they take it more seriously. You should have it should be a higher value product where you teach business. And so I think because of that, the education space naturally, and it's not a bash on the educators. We do it. Everyone does it. But any marketing guru would tell you, push the thing that sells.
Yeah.
And what sells are the technical abilities of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Because it's sexy, it's eye candy. And the business is harder, and it's so relative to your market and to how you run your business, because everyone does it differently. And so to teach a blanket statement course about something that could work for everybody, it's almost impossible.
I agree. And I think that, I mean, yeah, what you said is if you can create eye candy, that's going to be the fastest starting point for you to start making money as a wedding videographer. And that's where most people are coming from zero to how do I make $800, $2,000, whatever it is, as quick as I can. And it's create eye candy. Business, focusing more on the business side, I would say it's a longer burner. And in the long run, it will pay off more if you understand, branding and marketing and networking and all those things. That's going to take care of you in the long run.
Right.
So it's kind of like a tortoise and the hare sort of thing. So what do you want? Do you want to make money as fast as you can?
Right.
But eventually hit those bottlenecks? Or do you want to take the business approach, which is a more slow burning, kind of gaining momentum towards the long run?
And my disagreement with this post, maybe it's not even disagree. Oh, too much focus. I actually agree. You need both. You can't just be a good business guru and have a product that sucks. You need to be proficient in the technical side of filmmaking, editing, storytelling, and the business side of that world.
I agree.
I'm thinking about, if you saw an ad for, here's how you email planners, and here's how you do your LLC and taxes, like all like the boring things of business that we need to do, versus a tagline that says, with a stack of cash, here's how you make $100,000 filming weddings. You know what I mean?
With B-roll,
it's just like
gorgeous stuff.
Exactly. It's just like, and that's why it's just the meta of marketing right now. And so I think what we try to do, again, that we're exemplar at this, is we want products that can do both for people. We want a product that can be like, here's some of the business stuff for the beginners, and here's some of the technical fun stuff for the beginners, and some stuff in between, Right. So yeah, I think if you're an educator, I think it is wise to offer both, because both are important.
I think whatever you decide, if you want to focus more on business or gear, whatever it is, eventually one is going to become the bottleneck. I think you have the business on lock, and even if you're booking $10,000, $20,000 weddings, learning more about gear can push you to the next tier, and vice versa. So I don't think one is better than the other. We like to say, be a businessman first, use cameras as your medium to make money, but different strokes for different people,
I agree. Yeah, the discussion on that was actually really awesome too.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it is.
Alex Kennedy, hot take number 3. I'm not even sure if we've read your other ones. Maybe we have. Cranking the shutter speed is laziness for I didn't buy or bother bringing an ND filter to make my shots look more natural. Unless you're going for creative choice, just do it the right way. And then Jason's back. First comment, it doesn't matter. And then Alex said 100% matters. And then Jason says not to clients.
Man, ruthless. And then he says, just admit you're doing it for money and not to better your craft. Which Jason.
Jason, we gotta have you on here, bro.
I'm totally doing it for the money.
Here's a fun fact for you.
Yeah, give me the facts.
And Ray Roman, if you listen to this and this is wrong or outdated, I'm going off of your course. What was it called? Something Mastering the Moment, Ray Roman's course, which I love. You know how much I love that course.
Great course.
Did it probably 3-4 years ago. He cranked his shutter speed in that course and was just very open about it and said, my job is to be as quick as possible. And we learned, and again, Ray Roman has been voted best wedding filmmaker in the world.
Pretty unanimously.
Unanimously. I'm not sure if that's like a yearly title you have to, I'm not sure.
I think
anyway, he got voted. He won it. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, unanimous. Everyone knows.
He's proved that he is one of the best.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. And we learned after shadowing Larev, who's also in that world, that the game is to be as quick as possible with these clients, because you might have to just pick up your camera and document a live event moment without, hold on, let me just screw on the Peter McKinnon 6 to 9 ND. I got the 4. It's just, that's time you lost. And if everyone's watching you change your ND and the moment's being, you know what I mean? Right. And so I think one, depends on the market, but also two, like I agree with Ray is that you should be quick. And I agree, it doesn't matter. I think filmmakers, it's one of those moments, sorry, Alex, in my opinion, that filmmakers care a lot more about than clients do. Now, personally you, I think we agree on this topic. We like the look of a true shutter speed, a shutter angle. We like when our frame rate is exactly half of our shutter speed or shutter angle, We like that look. We like that motion blur look. We just love how that looks.
Natural. Yeah.
Our clients don't. I shot my
don't
first
even know.
5 years in Jake Weiser Films with a 4,000 shutter speed for 90% of my shots. Like almost everything was crank shutter speed, and no one cared.
Yeah.
The pros, great stills.
Some of our favorite shots ever was with the 1DX2. We're shooting bridles, cranked shutter.
Yeah,
at
I would
60
have
frames.
like an f-stop of 1.0
Yeah.
and a 4,000 shutter and an ISO of like 100. I would only change my shutter speed.
Yeah. No, I very much disagree with this take.
Sorry, Alex. I think it's a filmmaker thing. I don't think anybody
really
actually
do.
cares.
And I think what I also want to talk about is just admit you're doing it for the money and not to better your craft. I think
It's an interesting one.
I disagree with this whole like bettering your craft, because I fully believe, like if we're talking about, let's not say it's this shutter angle or shutter speed thing. Let's say we're talking about the editing room, right? Let's just say he said, if you don't have these certain export settings, just say you're doing it because you're lazy and not to be perfect and better your craft. I would say that there's a point when just sheer volume and the amount of work that you put out, kind of going back to what you were saying, how fast you can be at making things happen will make you better at your craft. So when we're talking about shutter speed, shutter angle, whatever it is, I think the faster I can be at just creating content and without being like, oh, hang on guys, wait, give me a second to go get my backpack, screw on my ND filter. I think that's only going to help you in the long run. Just being able to be quick. Quickness is underrated.
Yeah.
Being able to get things done quick.
Right.
Larev has those dinky little light stands.
For that sole reason.
And before we even knew them, we had the big bulky ones we always had to set up. And now we just laugh at that because quickness is very much a valuable thing to have in this field. So I don't think
when
you need
a planner
to
says,
better
hey, I need
your
this shot, it's so much more attractive to just say, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Crank the shutter, grab the shot,
Right. I don't think you need to better your craft if you're doing great and your clients don't care.
And that's another reason they shoot in RAW. At least I think is knowing them, and Cherish, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think another reason they chose to get cameras that shoot in RAW is because it saves them time having to do their white balance in every scene they walk into. They know that they can just do that in post, and saves them great amount of time when you add up all the time you spend changing your white balance throughout the day. That compounds, and so they've saved all that time just by shooting in RAW.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's the principle. I think I do agree. I think it's more important to be quick. Again, depends on the market you're in. And I learned that too when I was really loving primes, and during a year I really just wanted only primes, but I wanted to swap out, go between different prime lenses, and I had one camera, one gimbal, and I had to rebalance my gimbal every single time, and that took a lot of time. So then I was like, well, I don't want to give up my prime look. My gimbal isn't adding a whole lot of value. I switched to the monopod for that year because that allowed me to swap out lenses so quickly without to rebalance or anything. I just would swap out a lens, done. I'm still in the moment,
Right.
And then I was like, I'm kind of actually wanting more versatile gimbal shots. And so that's what I was like, well, something's got to give. I went to the 24-70 and I balanced it in the middle so that I can get wide and tight and keep my gimbal movements. So you try to kind of pick what works for you,
Yeah.
But to be clear, and I'm sorry, I hate, I don't think it matters. I don't think shutter speed matters.
Yeah. This argument, just saying like you're lazy if you don't do this, I can make that argument if you decide not to rebalance your gimbal after you change a lens, right? Sometimes you just got to be quick.
And
you
I
bit
think
better,
the toxic part of this argument is when people will shoot in log because of comments. And again, I'm not trying to bully you here,
Alex. we really,
I love your comments. This is a great teaching moment.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people shoot in log because of comments like this, where they think that if they're not shooting in log, they're not bettering their craft.
Right.
But what is really happening is they're shooting in log incorrectly, and it's doing worse for their film than if they would have just shot in Rec 709.
Right. 100%.
And so I think it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I think another person, Alexander Ma, our buddy Alexander Ma, if you watch his ads, he has some of the best ads I've ever seen. And he shot a Thailand wedding. And you can see in the ad that he created with that, the shutter speed is drastically off. You see the people just kind of have that weird motion to them. And you can see that it was not the correct settings. But who cares? Yeah. I noticed it after maybe my third or fourth time watching it, only when I was paying attention to every single thing. It doesn't matter because he still booked. He's probably made $1 million off that ad still.
Right. And to Alex's credit, let me say this to Alex's credit.
Yeah.
a high shutter speed does give you a certain look that should be used in certain situations. Hollywood does it. Everyone does it. You're correct. It should be used in a certain time. Yes, we use it incorrectly, period, according to the filmmaking standard, but I don't think it makes a difference between you being in a market or charging what you want to charge or getting your clients because they don't care. In fact, I bet my argument is if you showed 2 clips to a bride and a groom side by side with a high shutter and a low shutter, I promise you, I bet they would gravitate towards the high shutter.
And especially
because it would look sharper.
And when you slow it down too, when you take it in 60 frames to 23,976, whatever. Yeah.
It looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alex, sorry, man. We weren't really coming out.
I love you, Alex.
Thank you. Thanks for
letting us have that teaching moment.
And you still have to agree with us. That's
please don't agree with us. I love when we can all disagree and agree.
Yeah, you can disagree.
I love it. I truly love it.
Yeah, you can disagree without being disagreeable. Okay, next one from our boy Dryden Glod from Wild in Rome. Not necessarily specific to filmmaking, but a little pause here. I hate first looks. Wow, this is funny because
him and Emily both.
Emily said the father and the bridesmaids things, and now he's just saying I hate first looks. So he says, I know it's weird, but I just don't feel like they saved that much time, and I'm still so glad my wife and I didn't do one.
Okay, so you have some personal skin in the game here.
I don't feel like they saved that much time. Is that the point of a first look, to save time?
No, Dryden, you might be projecting here and justifying why you didn't do a first look.
I've never thought of a first look as to save time. What?
It takes up time.
Yeah, it's a moment.
If I could be a full-time first look videographer,
I would.
I truly enjoy that moment.
Yeah, I do too.
Most of the time. Sometimes it's awkward.
Yeah,
but like you gotta play the averages here.
Man,
it's a live event, so
freaking Jason, they suck. So overrated and mostly a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
And
then Grant Fitzgerald, I visually celebrate on Zoom calls when they say they're not doing a first look.
What's the hate on the first looks?
I love first looks.
I think the first looks are one of the beautiful parts of the day.
Yeah.
It's actual raw emotion. Yeah, it's
most
real.
of the time. Again, nothing's ever all the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
You gotta love when you have the groom who you can tell definitely rehearsed it in the mirror beforehand. He turns around, it's just like it's a theater show, and you're just like, you're acting a little bit. But
yeah, the acting ones do suck.
Yeah. I like what you say to grooms though, when you say girls love it when you use your hands.
That's all I say.
Yeah, you don't have to say put it to your face, your mouth, or whatever. Just
I'm not saying
they love it when you use your hands.
I'm not saying use your hands. I'm saying just like grab her.
Yeah.
Just use your hands. Like do something.
Yeah.
My least favorite first look, and I hope they're watching this, is he turned around and said, "Dude, you look hands in his pockets."
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you look awesome.
Oh, did they fist bump after that?
Probably.
Gosh.
And it wasn't like that's like how they are. It was just like an awkward. She was like, "That's it," and he was just like clueless. Dude, you look awesome. And then
I hate that.
Like, yeah,
I don't like that.
And that's when I started the first look speech.
And that's when you went home and you looked yourself in the mirror and you said, what can I do?
What are you gonna say to couples?
What can I do to make sure that never happens again?
Yeah, I love first looks.
I do too. I don't get the hate on them.
All right, Junior Holden's hot take: you need a relationship with a planner to get brides. Nate Tien replied, as in, you agree with this or you don't agree with this? Junior Holden said, to have success, not at all. If you do right by your couples and continue to grow your brand, planners will come along with it. But initially starting out, you should just be trying to get your reps and your style. Planners will come. Now, high end, that's a different story. Correct. That is a different story.
Yeah.
In fact, there's 1,000 different stories. In fact, I agree with you. No, you don't. I'm going to emphasize the word need here, planners to get brides.
Yeah.
I spent the first greater half of my career getting brides without planners. And in fact, sometimes we still get brides with planners, but we get the bride, not the planner. So yeah, I agree. You don't need it. But to disagree with you, or maybe to teach you a little bit, I think it makes your life easier because
absolutely
a planner to me is a marketing tool. The same way a Facebook ad is, an Instagram post, a discount on your story for brides booking you. In my opinion, I'm not saying they're just like tools to us. I'm saying like a planner in my mind is a marketing tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And planners know that they are that. And that's why yeah, and if they love you, they'll market your name, and all of a sudden you're saving money on spending ads, and you have yeah. So no, you don't need them, but I promise you, they'll make your life easier.
Yeah, this is also another one of those things where I can't say I've ever heard someone say you need a relationship. We've taught that, yeah, you should, right? It's good because it does make your life easier. And in the long run, it's a great thing for your business. And I'll never forget, this was actually in the Full-Time Filmmakers Facebook page. Someone once posted, and it was a great discussion post. And they said, what would you do if tomorrow all of your social media was deleted and you could never get it back?
Oh, I remember that post.
It was a great post, and there was a lot of people chimed in. And I believe it was Adam Grumbo, and he said, I wouldn't care because people know me.
Yeah.
And that's what a wedding planner is. If we got deleted and we could never get our posts or our pages back, we would feel still confident. We're still working on it.
I wouldn't even care.
Yeah, because if you have people in your corner,
bookings
they don't
don't
care.
come from,
Right. If you get deleted, but you still have 10 planners in your corner who know your work, they are your agents. They're going to give you weddings.
And a good example was when we made Runaway Vows.
Yeah.
Didn't have a single post on our page. And we booked a destination Cancun wedding because of a vendor who said, trust me, you need Runaway Vows.
Right. Make your life easier.
That says everything you need to say.
Make your life easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't need one, but it's a smart thing to do sooner rather than later,
Agreed.
I'd say.
And again, it kind of depends on where you want to be in 10 years, junior.
Right.
Like it doesn't, I'm going to start calling you junior.
Me? Yeah. Why me?
I don't know. I actually want to call Athy Junior.
I like Junior.
Junior.
Russ Junior.
I like it.
All right. Grant Fitzgerald. I'm actually really excited about this one. Grant says, you probably won't go full-time in under a year. 4 years at it, almost there. What I meant, sorry, let me start that over. You probably won't go full-time in under a year. 4 years at it, and I'm almost there. What I meant to say is, don't feel discouraged if you don't go full-time in under 1 year.
Yeah, I did. I like how you corrected yourself, Grant, because it's so
subjective.
relative to your own personal business ethics. Not everyone will do the exact same thing. Just because someone does it doesn't mean everyone will do it.
Right.
I do think you'll get what you give.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying you haven't given at all. I'm just saying it's just so relative to everyone.
And I'm assuming what he means by full-time is having enough money to pay the bills, and because you could go full-time and not bank that much money, but just cut your living expenses. Probably not realistic, but
I think it'd be faster to go full-time if you connect with planners.
yeah, you probably won't go. Also, if you're going to give a hot take, I'd say leave out the word probably. Be confident, you know?
Come on, Grant.
Don't say probably. Just say you won't go full-time. Because when you say probably, it's wishy-washy.
Yeah. To agree with Grant,
Probably.
I do think a lot of people go full-time prematurely.
I think so too.
I think for some reason there's this, and maybe I'm just like, maybe this is even how the culture, the climate is, but I feel like you feel this pressure to go full-time way too soon. And there should be nothing wrong with maintaining a job. And I get those DMs all the time. People are like, well, when should I quit my job? And it's like, well, when you feel like you're consistently making enough money that it surpasses that job. And with this job, it's so always inconsistent income. So you should, according, I think sound financial advice would be, on average, your lowest month of income still surpasses or is your day job's income. Even at your lowest month as an entrepreneur, as long as it's at what you're currently making, then you're good. But if you have one great month, but then 11 months, you're like half what you would be making at your day job, then no, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Even if that 1 month is like 10x, it's just like, yeah, but you can't live on a month.
Right.
Consistently, are you making enough?
Right. I saw actually a great thread post by Alex Hormozy. Now, I'm not a Hormozy bro. I'm just like everyone. I see him pop up on my feed. I do think he does have some good takes, albeit very controversial sometimes.
Well,
when you pump out
billionaires always did something right.
Right. And when
self-made billionaires always did something right.
When you pump out as much content as Hormozy, of course, you're going to have some controversial takes. But he said, and it was in quotes, it was, what's the best job I can have that's going to allow me to build my dream job? And he said, any job that allows you to have 127 days off in the year, full salary, paid for medical bills, or sorry, your insurance and time off. And he said, i.e. every 9 to 5 ever. And seeing those numbers is pretty crazy because our 9 to 5, you have 127 days in the year to build your dream job.
Wow.
Because you're working Monday through Friday, you have Saturday, Sunday off, and holidays. 127 days in a year.
That's crazy.
So there's no
actually.
shame in working a 9 to 5 and then getting into this wedding videography space.
Yeah.
You still have some time.
It's awesome.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And with weddings, you can work a 9 to 5 and still have your weekends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a cool post.
That's cool. I like that. All right, moving on. I'll read Cooper's next too because they're just easy. Photos are easier to edit than videos. Yes. Moving on. Cake cutting,
100%. Let's keep going.
I mean, you could argue a certain type of photography, sure, but
Sure.
let's be real. No.
This
Yeah.
one is
Depends on how intensive you're editing.
right.
I think, again, those natural light photographers are usually just copy and pasting a preset and recomposing every shot.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, actually, I will die on that hill. Video
Photos-
editing is 1,000 times harder because there are a billion other aspects you have to deal with. And I think, actually, all photographers would agree with that.
Oh, no way.
Editing at least.
No, you can't
Courtney
say
would.
all.
Okay, most would.
Courtney would, yeah.
Almost all
Courtney's
would.
not all.
And if they don't, they're probably doing some crazy editing.
But still, how crazy can it get?
It can't be that crazy.
Right?
Listen to Spotify and podcasts while
Yeah.
you do it. Cake cutting, bouquet tosses, Angara tosses all gotta go. Yeah,
Agree.
yeah, sure.
Agree. if you want those things to stay, then please chime in.
Yeah, and if you want them to stay, remove the kids from those events. Please. I digress.
Yeah, having a kid at the garter toss is
It's
gross.
It's
just it
something's
feels a
wrong with
little-
it. Something's wrong with it.
some pedo.
Some shady stuff going on.
Yeah. Oh, we got our boy Alex Kennedy.
Welcome back, Alex.
Welcome back to the show. All right, Alex Kennedy. Hot take number 4. I don't know what number 1 and 2 were, but we feel sorry for number 3 still. Okay, Alex Kennedy. Hot take number 4. We charge far too much for what we do, but if the couples are willing to pay for it, we won't turn it down.
Adam's comment, I would never pay my prices.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, I wouldn't either. But I mean,
I think I disagree.
really? I would agree.
Yeah,
It's not that hard of a job.
I think it is.
How?
I think documenting a live event the way we do it, someone can't just walk on and do that.
Justifies 5 figures.
No.
It's not that
Okay.
hard.
Well, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Let me think about that one.
I agree. It is overpriced.
Well, I think at some point, every market, there becomes this point of, well, you have to charge that for that market. But no, I think if you know what you're worth for 8 hours on a day to work for 8 hours straight, and then you add up your business costs, your editing costs, like everything, your price shouldn't be that unjustifiable. But then I
does
think
go up
once you start
quick.
getting into like the higher markets, where it's all of a sudden you just have to kind of keep raising your prices to appeal to those people, then yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It does add up quick. And there's a lot of different ways to price yourself. And we're still tinkering with a lot of things as well. But when you start factoring in your gear and charging
You should be
premiums on your gear,
accounting for everything.
right, accounting for everything.
I mean, like, and I've even learned this last year. Like, you should be taking like your VidFlow, your music bed, all your subscriptions, your annual things that you have to pay
Build it
for,
right into the cost.
and divide them by 12, or divide them by how many weddings you're doing a year, and add that onto your prices as well.
right.
Like every cost of business should be being paid for by your client. Once you start doing that math, then no, I disagree. I think it's pretty fair.
It doesn't, I mean, even if you stack in VidFlow and your editors, it only adds,
And the hours you work.
but divide across all of your weddings. It
Depends how
only
many weddings you're
tax
doing.
on, yeah, it depends. Yeah.
And if you're
depends
paying
on that.
yourself a comfortable salary,
Right.
like you would be making it like even like a fast food chain.
Right. That's the beauty about being an entrepreneur, though, is that you can raise your prices. And there's nothing wrong with charging too much if people are paying for it.
Yeah.
Lululemon is overpriced.
Yeah.
They spend a fraction of the cost that they charge, but it's because people pay for it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with charging. Who cares?
I will buy the more expensive option on Amazon because I trust it. 9 times out of 10.
It's nothing new. It's,
Unless,
it's nothing new. When we don't know something, if I'm going to go walk down the street and I want to buy a piece of jewelry, let's take a recent example when we were trying to buy a wine opener.
Yeah.
Wine opener. We know nothing about wine opener.
No.
What is it? A wine key.
A wine key.
We know nothing about that. So what we go off of, we don't go off of texture and build quality. We go off of price.
That's all I went off
The
of.
more expensive
the price
it is,
and the brand.
the more expensive it is, the more we assume it's quality.
And I found a $1,300 wine key.
And how much better of a job does that do than a $200 wine key?
Well, $5 wine key.
Than a $5. Yeah, it probably doesn't do the job thousands of dollars
It's
better.
smoke and mirrors.
Exactly. So
It
sure.
was made from like gold aluminum or something crazy.
I bet it
though.
was made from like some asteroid.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd, even if we do charge too much, I don't think it's wrong.
But I agree with Adam. I would never pay our price.
Ever. No, not a chance. Makes me want to barf.
No, I would never do that.
No.
But I'm glad people do.
Thank you.
Keeps us in business.
Thank you. Emma not leaving a hot take.
Emma's just our hype girl.
She is. Yeah.
Ryan Hinman, I think it's on you. Is it?
Right.
No, it's me.
No, it's you.
Ryan Hinman, our boy. Super hot take from a Sony user. Canon colors look better than Sony. Common knowledge.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say it's a hot
2014.
take.
2014.
I do think, Ryan, sorry,
Sorry,
an
Ryan.
outdated take because I think Sony has come around.
I think so too.
I think with the A7 IV was their first camera where I was like, wow. And now that we've all finally learned conversion LUTs and you purchase the right conversion LUTs, if you use Gamut, for example, link below. If you put a Gamut conversion LUT on both cameras, they already compensate for the weaknesses of each camera. And so you can make them look the exact same, which is a conversion LUT.
Yeah. We're convincing ourselves every day not to buy an FX3. Did you know?
Someone give me a good reason to not buy an FX3.
Jake, did you know that the FX3, they shot the Creator with that?
You know I know this.
No, I know. It's just hilarious how funny everyone just, it's just always in the same sentence now. No, yeah, outdated take. Ryan, we love you.
But then he Ryan's funny.
Something about Canon
Super hot
blocks,
take
though.
that you're like,
Just to clean it.
You're like, not since 2014. He's like, 100%. It's funny.
Oh, do we read this one?
Yeah, read it.
All right.
Wait. Thinking about me. Should you read this one? I'm about to go off. Read it, Nathan. Give the people what they want.
This is a cancelable one.
And if I start going on a path, just start.
Well, what's funny about you is that your take recently changed. Because remember when I first asked you and you're just like, well, mansplaining is this, then this. And then it was after the conversation where you're like, after that conversation,
Yeah.
I agree.
Go on.
All right. This one coming in hot. We're going to get into the, I have a feeling we're going to get into the political realm here.
Let's just focus. Let's not focus on the word. Let's focus on what the context is.
Okay. This is from Regan L. Miller. Those who mansplain about gear could really learn a thing or two from women in the field about actual storytelling. We love labels. What do we want to focus
I
on
don't know
here?
what's being said here.
Do we want to focus on the mansplaining or gear
Women
or storytelling?
storytellers.
So let's focus on that. Let's focus on, well, what do we focus on?
Are women better
Are
storytellers
women
than
better
men?
storytellers?
See, there's no way to answer that. What are you comparing it against? What's the rubric here?
Yeah.
What is
I will say in our industry, the majority of my favorite storytellers are men. Doesn't mean I don't have women. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just because we have more of
I don't know why I wasn't ready for you to say that.
more men in the field. I'm not saying I don't have favorites.
Are you mansplaining right now?
No,
just kidding. I'm
mansplaining
just
is
kidding. Yeah. Okay, let's take out labels here. I do
Yeah.
think that there should be a more taught. Hold on, let me make sure. I do think we should teach more about storytelling techniques than
100%.
gear.
I do
I
think so
think
too.
gear is one of those eye candy topics that it's just easy to get triggered and spend all day on Facebook threads about gear.
Uh-huh.
And because of that, we see that topic a lot more often. And storytelling is such a unique creative process. It's a lot harder to teach that to somebody.
Uh-huh.
And I hate to say it, I do think some people just don't have the gift of knowing
Right.
how to tell a story.
Right.
And sometimes, like singing lessons almost, I'd argue, sometimes it just can't be taught.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to kind of instinctually understand it. And if you don't, you're at a huge disadvantage. And that's, so let's take out the labels here for a second. Mansplaining woman, because I don't think it applies to, I don't think it's a gender issue.
Right. It's exactly.
I do think
be a man
there are
or
a lot
woman.
of men, especially on the Facebook community of sides, whose whole personality is explaining what gear does to people in a condescending way.
Mm-hmm.
One could argue you should probably know what your gear does if you're asking on Facebook.
Yeah.
Maybe just a quick Google search if you don't want to be riddled by toxic people.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think there's like I don't think your gender
I don't
dictates how good of a storyteller you are. My favorite storytellers in life are Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, Tim Burton, and Greta Gerwig, actually.
Yeah.
So
but I would
3
say,
men to 1 woman.
yeah, and it's not a gender thing. It's, I
don't
think
think it's a man thing.
the
or a
reason
woman thing.
the reason I'd say that I have more storytellers in this industry that are men is probably because there's a lot more men.
Mm.
I would pay good money to sit down with Cherish or Elaine or a good handful of other women about storytelling because they tell fantastic
Sure, she's
stories.
an amazing storyteller.
Cherish, she's
one of the best.
legend. Absolutely.
Catherine from Blink Films.
Catherine, yeah,
Incredible.
and we did. Emma,
Emma.
well, when we walked out of Catherine's presentation at Emma's workshop, we were blown away.
Yeah.
I think Catherine might be the best storyteller.
She's incredible.
I think so too. But there was no need for gender, I'd say, in this.
No, because then Adam Grumbo,
Right.
Jason McCutcheon's an amazing editor.
Ray Roman, Alexander Ma,
Yeah.
Jake Weisler.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't see it as a gender issue.
Yeah. Also, mansplaining.
Sure, let's just dive into that really quick.
Go to,
Please.
Let's go to Alex Kennedy's hot take number 2. Yeah, no, I don't believe mansplaining is
Oh, you
real.
don't want to
I'm
talk about
sorry.
mansplaining?
No, well, I just don't believe it's real. Sorry.
I don't think it's real either.
I don't either. Sorry.
We agree on this.
Yeah.
Toxic, I hate that word too. We've
I
overused
hate
that word.
toxic.
Our generation has killed that word.
I don't believe, I'm sorry. Okay. Actually, no, I'm not sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I don't believe mansplaining is real, and I don't believe toxic masculinity
Well, one
is
could
real.
say that means you're mansplaining and you're toxic. What do you say to that?
Maybe that's what you believe. I'm sorry.
No, I think condescending explaining
Right.
does not have a gender label.
It doesn't.
Everybody does it.
Yeah. In fact,
Don't say it. Go on. All right, I think it's my
I want
turn.
to, Jake.
Alex Kennedy's
I want to.
hot take number 2. Don't say it.
Please.
No,
Okay.
because I know you'll make me go into a whole rant
Yeah.
that I shouldn't go into.
Sorry.
It's genderless.
yeah, it is.
It
genderless.
exists on both sides.
It's just condescending explanation.
Well, it's more con on one side than the other. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
It's on both sides.
Yeah.
Period.
Let's just stop labeling people. How about that?
Yeah. How about you stop saying mansplaining and I'll stop calling everyone a Karen? Which I'm surprised nobody argues with that. That's so rude. Anyway, hot take number 2 from Alex.
Okay, we're going backwards.
Yep. Every filmmaker should acquire on-set experience. Oh, sorry. Every filmmaker should acquire on-set experience on bigger productions, even if they don't go to school for it. Sometimes they get tired of working with just pick up a camera and start shooting kind of people because they don't know the proper set terminology or etiquette that makes production more efficient. Kind of mansplaining. I'm just kidding. I do think anybody would benefit greatly
Exactly.
from a mentorship on set. In fact, one of my favorite times of FTF was when we were actually working on not Hollywood sets, but big production sets with an assistant director, Gabe,
producers and
people who I was like Brady. I was like, wow, I'm learning. This is a whole new world, and I learned so much. And it was a crash course on filmmaking, and I do think it dictated how I shoot weddings moving forward. So I do think yes, I think everybody would benefit from that. I don't think it's needed.
I don't think so either.
But I do. It's like yeah, you can cook really well. Obviously, if you sat down with Gordon Ramsay for an hour, you would
learn
feel
some
like
tips
an
and
idiot
tricks.
an hour later, like an idiot sandwich. But no, I don't think you need to know the terminology. I think whatever your process is, it should work for you.
Yeah, I don't have
You
a
don't
whole
need to
lot
know it's called a duck clamp. You can just call it a clamp. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but then yeah, but then I think the problem's on you, Alex. Hire people to work with you who fit in with your business well. If you don't, if you're hiring people you don't know or haven't worked with, that's why think about Christopher Nolan sets. They're always the exact same crew, down to like the gaffer and the best boy. It's always the same exact people because they have a shorthand together. And so if a shorthand is important to your production company, even with your second shooter, then yes, hire somebody with your similar background. But you shouldn't get frustrated at people who haven't had your life experience.
Yeah.
Because we all have different journeys.
Yeah.
And the majority of people have just picked up a camera.
And Alex did go on to say, I'm saying shooting as a whole. I took this post as beyond filming just weddings,
That's fair.
which, yeah, that is fair. I think
But like, everyone has to start somewhere.
if you just want to be a good cinematographer or filmmaker, then yeah, absolutely. I can agree with that. But being a wedding filmmaker,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why like the reputation of Hollywood was like, well, you start as a water boy and then you just work your way up slowly because you have to learn and be around those people enough so that when the opportunity comes, you can fit in really well and not get frustrated at, things. So when they ask for like a negative fill, you're like, well, what does that mean? You don't know how to do it. That's when I can see, but that's also on the person who hired you for not knowing your skill set.
right?
Not a wedding discussion.
Yeah.
We'll keep it wedding related.
How many more should we do?
Let's do a couple more. We'll do 2 more.
2 more each?
I don't even know how long it's been.
Well, about an hour.
Probably an hour. Okay. Yeah, let's do 2 more.
2 more each or just 2
Just
more?
1 more each.
1 more each. Which one do we want?
Well, how many more do we have? We're almost done. Let's just finish it off.
Are we really on?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, we are. Okay, yeah, we'll just finish it off.
Okay.
Okay, we got Brad.
Oh, I'm on Ryan Hinman.
Oh.
Oh, you're on Brad. Yeah. I see
Okay,
Brad.
Shorter, high quality video is better than a longer video with low quality shots. Some people can pull it off. Some people can pull off quantity and quality though, and it's legendary.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, Parker taught me this like in his course when I bought his course. One of the things that stood out to me the most, I think what might even be is like free webinar, like public knowledge, is that when he shoots a wedding, and this is how Parker shoots weddings, a little bit more montagey. He takes the best 10% of all of this footage and 90% of it is just put to waste because he specializes in those really short highlight films. And I think if you're specializing in short highlight films, yes, then you should only use the best of your best shots. It's better to have a shorter video with the best shots than a longer mediocre video, like what Brad's saying. So I agree with that.
With a good story.
Yeah, like if we shoot the same thing 3 times, we're going to use the best take, obviously.
Totally fine with a short video with a good story. Great visuals.
And even sometimes when we would do like the feedback videos, when we watch people's videos, there's even like sometimes where like there's similar shots. It's not the same shot, but maybe it's one of something in the same realm where I would have just omitted one and kept the other because now you've shown that thing twice. And because you show it twice, it now has lost its value.
Yeah.
And now I'm comparing those 2 shots and one's better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, to me, a feeling I absolutely hate is when I go to the theaters and I'm in a movie and I'm at like that 2.5 hour mark and a decent movie. If it's Christopher Nolan, absolutely keep going.
Sure.
But if I'm at a 2 hour, 2.5 hour mark and there's like a new chapter that opens up and I just sit there and I'm like, I don't think I can do this.
Yeah.
I would hate for a wedding film, a couple to feel that way about their wedding film. Like, oh, I'm at 6 or 7 minutes. Oh, there's 10 more minutes.
Another example on the flip side of that, we just delivered our Park City wedding, Caden and Devin, beautiful edit.
Gorgeous.
And they think they bought a 8-minute edit from us, but there was so much content in those 4 days, it turned into a 12-minute edit. And we delivered to them free of charge and saying we added on 4 extra minutes, hope that's okay.
Yeah.
And they didn't feel like it was 12 minutes long because there was so much content and it wasn't dragging anywhere.
Right.
But I've definitely had times where I've had to drag the edit.
Well, one could say that 12 minutes for 4 days is still pretty short.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's short.
No, it's crazy.
You can make a full hour.
Yeah. And then did you watch The Queen's Gambit?
I watched a few episodes.
So that was a TV show that should have been a movie.
Yeah, I agree.
It was
Yeah.
Every episode was an hour and a half and it should have been a 2-hour movie.
By the way, I know I told you that Kayla and I started the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Amazon and that it was
I
good.
didn't start it.
Terrible. Don't watch it.
Okay.
Stupid.
That's why I was surprised when you said you liked it.
No.
The first few minutes.
Granted, when I did
I'm sure
tell
it
you-
started off pretty hyped though.
we start, yeah, like the opening scene was so dope. I was
Yeah.
like, dang, this is going to be a good one. And I'm really disappointed because I love Donald Glover.
Mhm.
I just hate this show.
Yeah, it didn't look very good. The reviews were
They're-
horrible.
Yeah, the casting, okay, and I get it. We need to not picture it as Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. It's hard not to though.
But you're replacing Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to watch that completely separate, knowing Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie also
Because they had
played.
some chemistry.
Right, they did. And I love Donald Glover. I don't know the main actress's real name, but both of them
Bummer.
no chemistry. The script is really flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Too bad.
Not a huge fan. So don't watch it. Sorry.
Noted.
Yeah, I felt bad that night. I was like, yeah, you should go watch it. All right.
Ryan's, I think this is just towards us.
Yeah,
he said,
very
if you're not filming hotel videos, you'll be out of business in 2025.
And then I said, I haven't heard of this one yet. What's the reasoning? And he said, we'll never know. The world picks winners and losers, my friend. So cryptic. What is he trying to say? You don't need to film hotel videos. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fun though.
It is fun.
Guys, we spent all of January in Vegas. It's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'll read the next one.
Okay.
Chapters Has Fallen Off by Nick Johnson. I don't think so. I think we all just say that because we've exhausted them.
We've used them all. Yeah. As a wedding filmmaker, you've heard every single one of their songs, but they did just release the slow and reverbed instrumentals.
I
of
think
each
they're
song.
still good.
They have good songs.
They have some good songs.
They do have some good songs.
Great for weddings.
Don't use them.
Yeah.
We'll still use them.
We are in need of a new chapters though. A new version of like a new
New
go-to.
chapters, a new
Yeah.
boundary run. Give us something good.
Boundary Run.
Secret Nation.
Yeah.
All right. Cooper Thacker, our boy.
Oh, gosh.
I feel like he's just attacking
Cooper's not
us.
involved in this world, and then he just comes into the Facebook groups and just like hot takes. I'm like, what? You're on a glide cam.
Okay.
You haven't changed your setup in 10 years.
Cooper Thacker says, workshops are more for videographer meeting other videographers than improving their skills. And to be fair, I've never been to
Then
one.
you don't know, Cooper. Then you have no idea.
It's fair to say that Cooper is. I mean, all of his takes have been directly at us. His other one was, "There's way too many filmmaker podcasts
Yeah.
these days." He's
have I ever
targeting
done
these
to you, Cooper?
workshops. Cooper is one of our great friends, so
Never
we'll
met
let
him.
it slide. If this was
Yeah.
someone we weren't on good terms
But
with,
also,
I'd be a little more hot out of the gate.
no one said they're for improving your skills.
I'm sure we could dig up, and
Maybe.
I'm
But
sure.
I would mainly,
I'm
I
pretty
mainly
sure.
go to workshops to meet other filmmakers.
I feel like we could look.
Unapologetically.
I feel like I could look on our website, and the copy might say, "Improve your skills."
Well,
at
yeah,
the Runway
you should be
Workshop,"
doing that while you're there. But I feel like for me, the most attractive part of a workshop is meeting other filmmakers.
which is why we bring in Emma Kay and Will. and
right.
people want to meet.
So I
you.
feel like this isn't a hot take. I feel like this is just correct.
Well, I don't know the
You-
way that workshops are marketed though. It's come and capture.
But get good content. But
get
it's like
portfolio-worthy
meet the other
content.
filmmakers who are coming. Network. I love the most value I've ever gotten from all the workshops we've been to have been the network
Yeah,
and using Emma's style shoots for our Gamut launch. That was big.
that was big. That was big.
All right, Josh Vassar.
Vassar. Let's just say
This is interesting. Stop using we, our, and us in your copy when you're a solo operation. Nothing wrong with being the only person running your business. Using first-person language helps build trust and makes it more personal.
I disagree.
No,
I disagree.
it depends on your company name.
Yeah.
If your company name
Exactly.
is your name, then yeah, I can
Yeah.
see why you're saying that. But if you're a solo person with like a generic, like let's say it was just me at Runaway Vows, I would never say I.
Yeah.
Because I want it to seem like I'm a huge team. And that way, also, if you don't want to be at every single wedding you're ever booked with, then just remove I from your website.
Right. Say we.
Yeah,
us.
because we allows you to have a team and allows you to outsource the filming if you can't make it.
Yep.
Or if you have like a birthday or your wife goes into labor that day,
Mm-hmm.
there's no like, oh my gosh, they're expecting me to be at the wedding.
Yeah.
if the language is my team,
Right.
then no one will ever care.
Yeah. There's no more panicking about, oh my gosh, someone just inquired about
Don't you
another
tell my
day.
bride won't be there? Like, no,
It's all good. Just
if it's a team.
just tell them, hey, we're already booked that day, but someone from our team is
Yeah.
well available.
Yeah.
We're available.
Or
Yeah.
or even
Just
just don't even
just
say
say
you're
we're
booked.
available.
Just say like, yeah, we'll be there. Our team
Yeah.
will be there. Someone
And
representing
hire
our
someone
team
else.
will be there.
Yeah. So hire someone out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when they expect like, and since we're a YouTube presence, it's when they ask like, will Jake be there? That's when I'm like, that's when
Exactly.
you have to say it. But like
Right.
where we've tried to position ourselves per Larev's advice too is, come across for the way we want to do business and our brand and our long-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be a team.
Right. And you can come across as
Right.
a CEO of a thriving company.
Right. We don't want it to be like you will get Jake and Nate at a wedding every time
Right.
because I don't want to be tied to that.
Right. And if people see your work and
Yeah.
they see you email saying our team or us, and they're like, oh, wait,
Yeah.
I guess the stuff I'm seeing is their team.
Yeah.
It's not just one person.
Right.
So
Because
they're
I would
much more
love for somebody to take over our inquiries. I would love for somebody to have like a VA or like a representative to represent the Runway Vows brand and to email our clients back, send them the pricing guides, the brochures, email network planners, and not have to do that ourselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Just be the owners of this wedding production company.
So Josh, sorry, man.
Sorry. But I agree. If it's Jake Weisler Films,
Yeah.
it would
I.
be weird to say we.
Yeah. Use the word
Yeah,
I.
when they expect Jake Weisler to be there.
Our boy Alex Kennedy on his first, hot,
first
take.
hot take.
We've had a
Full
little bit of a roundabout way of getting here, but we're here, and it's a little bit of a longer one. So deep breath. Alex Kennedy says, hot take. Too many videographers have a couple course. Excuse me. Let me start over. Hot take. Too many videographers have a couple years of experience, then come out with a course telling everyone how great they are. So they don't make a boatload of money from courses, but don't practice their filmmaking nearly as much anymore because they don't want to admit that they were really in it for the money.
Again, we're all in it for the money.
You
Oh
don't
my
see
gosh.
Steven Spielberg making courses because he's actually putting in his hours and perfecting his craft. We used to admire getting taught from someone in a trade that's been doing it 20 plus years, but now we gawk at some film guru who's been in the industry for a couple of years and never even went through school for it. Wasn't Alex?
Steven Spielberg doesn't have a course because he invented Universal Studios.
Yeah.
He created the amusement park and he's made billions off of it. That's why he doesn't have a course.
Yeah. Alex, again, man.
Sorry,
for coming
Alex.
Sorry if we're coming off hot. Wasn't he the one in the comments that says, like, just to make you're being lazy and you don't want to actually better your craft?
Maybe.
Alex, let's hop on a coaching call, man.
Do
Like, you don't.
people prematurely teach? Yes, I
Yeah,
did it.
I
I prematurely
agree.
taught. But to argue that, if you wait to be perfect at something, you'll
Right.
never have a course.
You learn by teaching.
Yeah.
You learn by teaching.
And Alex, viewers, our
We're
chefs,
coming out hot.
when I released my video pro, I did it prematurely. I'd only been doing it for a few years, and I'm not taking this personally because I'm way over this. But my course wasn't to teach people like you who might be better than me. My course was for people who are worse than me. There will always be someone better than you.
Right. Always.
And so when people, and we have friends and I love when people have been doing it and they figure something out and they're brand new at the industry and like, I want to teach others how to do it. They're not saying, look how great I am. They're saying, hey guys, here's what I'm learning and I want to sell this knowledge.
Right.
And you can say, well, just give that knowledge for free. Well, then you'll never make money.
Right.
I personally don't want to be on set for the rest of my life. And if that's what your dream is, if you want to be on set as a film bro for the rest of your life, then great. But for
Nothing
me,
wrong with it.
I want financial freedom. And I would much rather spend time making one product and sell it 1,000 times than trading my time for money every single damn
Then have
weekend.
1,000 bookings. Yeah.
Yeah, like 9 times out of 10.
There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
I'd rather make money in my pajamas at home from a product I built. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing people who want that lifestyle. Yes, there'll be good and bad versions of that lifestyle. There'll be people who do it way too prematurely and they market it way incorrectly. And there's a lot of scammy language. Yes, that will exist. But
I just don't know what the fear is. It's like
lack of experience doesn't take away from that you have things to offer.
right. Good. I mean, yeah, everyone has a course these days, it seems like, but good courses are always going to stick out. So yeah, who cares if it's a saturated market? It's just going to create better competition and better products. It seems like, again, Alex, not coming after you here personally, but there's a lot of focus on bettering your craft. And I think if you just wait forever to better your craft, you're never going to get to where you want to be because it's an impossible goal. So if you wait to get better at this and this and this, you're never going to actually teach a course. So if that's your goal, to teach a course, but your focus is to better your craft until you can be X amount better, you'll never get there. And again, you learn best by teaching. Ever since we started teaching our course, we have learned, hey, maybe we actually don't agree with everything that we just said, and we're going to try something out. And we've learned a million things ever since. So you don't need to just wait to be there in 20 years. There's no magic number.
I disagree with a lot of what we taught.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's still a great course.
I would say I disagree with it. I think it would still work if you did it that way, but I just think I'm learning every day. Oh, I actually want to do that differently. Or actually, I enjoy doing this differently. Or actually, this is a different way of doing it that I actually like more for how I shoot weddings. So yeah, I mean, people always make courses, but I love when I see a brand new filmmaker wanting to be an educator, because I know, because they're brand new, business wise, I know I'm not expecting them to teach me how to be a millionaire. I would never set that expectation, but I am like, well, they're new, they've learned something, and you should have the mindset of you can learn something from everybody. It takes a lot of humility,
right?
But you should approach every relationship you have with like, what can I learn from this person? Not saying they know everything, but I promise you they know something that you don't know. And I feel like even when we host our workshops and we watch people shoot the style shoots, and if you ask them why they're there, they'd say, oh, to learn from Jake and Nate. But I'm watching them shoot something or direct something, and I'm like, wow, it's actually smart. I like that. I'm going to apply that to my weddings.
Right.
And the wheel goes round and round.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think what you're saying is true, but I think you should change your perspective and take the personal, or just add some open-mindedness here and say, well, what can I learn from that new person who wants to teach?
I agree.
And I promise you, they're not positioning their course out there as like, look how great I am. If they found success, they deserve to celebrate it. We all do. And if they found success doing something, and I don't think I'm too far off to say this, and I think I say it with love. Emma is brand new to this world. Here's a good example. Emma's brand new to this world, and she's very open about how young she is. 23, I think, currently. Insanely young for the market she's in, and for the success she's had, insanely young. You could look at that as a negative, or what her audience does and what we do when our viewpoint on Emma is we look at it as a strength. Like, oh my gosh, she has accomplished more in 2 years than I have seen people in this industry accomplish in 30 years. And that is not a weakness. That's a strength.
Right.
And Emma doesn't say she knows everything now. How could she? She's 23 years old. Yeah. But she's learning. So I don't know. I disagree. I think, and she just came out with a course. And I'm not saying this post is directed at her. I don't know who it's directed at. But because she's teaching something that she's learned in those 2 years of being in this market that she thinks is valuable enough to sell. And I agree, it is valuable enough to sell.
I do too.
So I love it. I love seeing young educators jump in and teach their little niche thing. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, there's enough people to go around.
And I also wish that more people who have been doing it for decades would humble themselves and teach.
I wish they would.
And stop gatekeeping.
I wish they would. Yeah.
Did I tell you the story about but like year one, I saw some guy's colors and it was really good. And he'd been doing it for a while. He's pretty well established. So I just DM'd him and I was a noob, and I just like, oh, how'd you get your colors? And he sent me a wink emoji and said, trick of the trade or something.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you? No.
Just wanted to gatekeep how he got his colors.
No,
it was probably just a lot,
Probably.
And I had like 20 followers. I was, I was just nobody.
Yeah. That's crazy. Didn't tell
you. I don't know. I just think like, I never want to be that way.
Right.
And so even if it's something I learned last month, I would love to offer that information. And from a business standpoint, you got to put a price tag on it. I don't want to spend all day answering the same 1,000 DMs, which is, I'd rather just make a course that answers those questions and then just point them to that course. Yeah. Because my time is valuable.
Yeah. It's a lot easier.
Sorry, Alex, all your takes.
Man, sorry.
But these have been great discussion questions.
Genuinely, thank you for the good discussions.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's you.
Okay. It's okay to have a template and reuse songs for weddings you don't plan using as portfolio builders. Yes.
I agree.
I'm pretty sure Adam Grumbo is very open that he only uses 5 songs.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Adam, please let us know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't plan on showing it on your portfolio,
If you're doing a mass weddings like Adam is, and you're not posting every single wedding, why not?
use
Just
chapters.
plug them into your template.
Yeah, use chapters.
One could
it's-
argue it's less personable that way. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a
Depends
fine
on how
line.
you,
Depends on the template, I guess.
Yeah, sure, it's a great template.
I mean, if your couples if you've been refining it and all your couples love it, then sure, why not? But yeah, if you're not using it in a portfolio, no one's really going to see it. It is personal to that couple and their first time.
Yeah,
I think it's totally fine.
yeah. Can I read the next one?
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Most people's work actually isn't very good. I was telling Nate about this. I've been thinking a lot about Jason McCutcheon just did a post. And I think it was in his group. Or was it on his personal
I don't
page?
remember. I think it was his personal
I think it was
page.
just a personal page. And it really hit me. His first question was, what if the imposter syndrome is right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been thinking about it a lot. Yes, I think
A lot of people's work isn't very good. And it's okay. That's all right.
it is okay. It is all right.
Yeah.
We are all in different stages of this journey.
It's all subjective, honestly.
And I think the people whose work isn't good, your first step is to acknowledge that and get better.
Yeah.
And not label it as imposter syndrome, label it as I need to get better.
Yeah.
What courses, what masterminds, what classes, what mentorships can I take to improve what I'm feeling imposterish about? Because maybe it's right.
I do think you need a mentor to take you to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hit this ceiling, and then someone needs to sit you down and say, your colors are terrible. Your sound could be a lot
Right.
better.
Well, think about when I remember you said this to me one time when Brady, you did that course at FTF with Brady.
Yeah.
Your job was to film his whole course. The Brady Bissett,
Yeah.
insanely talented DP.
Right.
Nate's job at Full Time Filmmaker was to be the course videographer.
Yep.
And I remember after that 2-week production, it was just you and Brady.
Yeah, it was just me and him.
And you thought you knew lighting before,
Just the basics, yeah. Well,
but you walk
Key
off that
light.
set, you're like, I'm mind blown.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about lighting.
no, we absolutely know nothing. Yeah.
And I think that's true with anything. You read a book, you take a class, all of a sudden you feel imposterish because you're like, well, why didn't I know that?
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, you should just be like, okay, I didn't know that. Cool. Now apply it,
But again, it's also subjective because, like what you were saying, when I did that thing with Brady, I walked out knowing all these different lighting things I didn't even know existed. And we spent weeks spending way too much time to make that one scene just look good. And then I see something like Landon post something on his YouTube and it looks good.
Amazing. Mhm.
It looks good. He's just using a key light and a hair light and it pops off.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, well, why didn't he do this or why didn't he do that?
Right.
But the audience didn't care. And the audience is the expert. The audience is going to tell you if you're right or if you're wrong. So when we sit around, we say that most people's work isn't good, sure, but it's also very subjective because
Yeah, it
the
is.
person in the bottom tier, their clients might love it and they might have their little niche. But if they do want to take it to the next level, then yeah, a mentor would be someone good to look into, to look at, everything they do.
I think along those lines, we need to stop comparing films as like some rubric that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It is a creative art at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's no right way. There's no wrong. Well, there might be some wrong ways, but there's 1,000 right ways to do it. We have to keep in mind that it's an art. But again,
You can still be better at
then
it.
when that virtue becomes a vice is when you use that to justify why
A
your
bad
films
film.
suck.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, it's an art. It's like, no, like that was a jump cut.
Yeah.
That was horrible. That was
terrible.
ugly. That was
Yeah.
overexposed. You know what I mean? Like I get that too. But
Yeah.
but if you feel like, if you feel like you're watching someone's film, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm an imposter, my films suck, you're asking the wrong question or saying the wrong thing. You should look at that film and think, like, for me, I always watched, I remember when I discovered Fury Films.
Oh, Fury Films.
I think it's Sharon is how you say her name, Sharon, from Fury Films. If you guys aren't following Fury Films, you're doing yourself a disservice. Amazing.
Which, by the way,
Amazing.
a fantastic woman storyteller.
A fantastic woman storyteller.
There you go. Yeah.
And one of the most brilliant cinematographers I've ever seen.
It's,
But I remember I discovered her.
Pure
I
cinema.
watched one of her films and I was like, oh my gosh, I suck. I'm an imposter.
Mm-hmm.
But then my next thought was like, okay, well, you could go down that dark path of depression, Or just ask, like, well, why do you like her film so much? And I was like, oh, actually, I really just like the depth she creates. The foreground, there's always foreground, there's always a good background.
Mm-hmm.
And that just taught me, okay, well, my shots lack depth the way Fiori's do. And that was like back in 2018. And ever since then, our goal, our mission is always, and not that we shoot anything like Fiori does, but it's always to find depth.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up champagne glasses, like find
Candles,
something to
yeah.
shoot through,
Yeah.
because I love that look. And so you could look at it and say like, oh, I suck, I'll never be as good as them. And it's like, well, what can you learn from them?
Right.
You know, if you feel like you suck and you're watching someone's film, what can you learn from them? And same with the bad films. Like watch your bad film and think, why don't I like this? Why am I not proud of this? Oh, the audio sucks. Well, then improve your audio skills. Take an audio course.
Right.
Or take a mentorship call about audio. Like if you just like let yourself be depressed and play the victim card and you never ask yourself, well, how can I improve that? You'll just be stuck in this toxic self-destructive cycle.
Right.
And it's not healthy.
Mm-mm.
And I've done it before. It's
sucks.
just not healthy.
And your work actually takes a hit and it actually doesn't
Yeah.
look as good after
And
that.
I promise
because-
you your work is better than you think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you get into this weird
Sometimes.
mind space of trying to make every single thing perfect. And I think it's funny because you see a lot of social media posts about this, especially on TikTok now. People will be like, I spent a week making this TikTok and it got 200 views. And then I just point my camera at myself and I say something, it gets tens of thousands.
Yeah.
It's just do your work, you know, know what you're better at, know what your
Yeah.
bottlenecks are, and then just play to your strengths.
Yeah.
And if it is an outsourceable thing, like if your editing is your bottleneck, find a good editor and learn from them sometimes. But you should,
Right.
let me put,
No, that's you're right. That's
Yeah.
a virtue that can be taken into a
right,
vice.
you should be better than your editor.
Or, see, it's tricky because
You hire an editor that
if
is
it's
as
just
good as
not
you.
your skill set,
I guess that's true, yeah.
outsource
Any
it.
virtue can be a vice.
Right. But I do think this is a good example. I think if you just feel like I just suck at editing, I'm going to outsource that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Outsource it. That's probably a smart move for your business to make good films. But start teaching yourself editing. Start learning why your editors, like even just like take their project files and analyze them. Why is it better than what I can do? You don't have to get as good as them, but you should be trying to improve yourself.
Yeah. Sorry for the chainsaw in the
sorry
back,
for the
guys.
chainsaw, guys.
You know,
Because where's the line? Where do you say, like branding, for example, we suck at branding,
right.
so we outsourced that. But we took our brand guide and used it as a study guide to teach ourselves how to brand better.
I would love to see that. That's actually a great hot take. What if someone posted and said, you don't need to know how to edit?
Well, the word need, yes, you don't need to.
You don't need to.
No.
Could you run a thriving company without
You
even
could.
knowing how to edit? What if you're just the most talented shooter?
Well, that's how producers make their money.
Yeah, but
they
like
just
in
outsource every job and then they make the money.
the wedding industry, though, is
Yeah.
there anyone who
I bet you could. I bet you were on the exact same ship. You could create the business, fund it, hire the best cinematographers and the best editors, and not know how to do any of that stuff. Just fund it.
How do you get to that point though of having enough money per
It's just
wedding?
it's just CEO energy.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Interesting.
We got Matthew Reed. Matthew Reed says anything over 3 months is too late. Anything over 3 months is too late to deliver a wedding film, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
We're taking it personally.
Yeah, no, I disagree with that. I think it's hard to put it on a rubric.
Yeah.
Every client is going to be different. Some might see 3 months as being a little too soon, being like, wow, it only took you 3 months. Some people might see 6 months as being an insanely long amount of time to wait. But regardless of what you think is too long to wait, you need to be doing things that make your client happy in the waiting period. What
Right.
we do is we do the same day teasers
And ceremony edits. within
and
a
ceremony
month,
edits
yeah.
and things like that. And what we have found, because we used to always stress about it needs to be done in 3 months or 4 or 6 months, whatever it is. And we're always kind of sweating. And you know that feeling when you know a client is about to reach out
Yeah.
to you and you have that anxiety. So what we've done and what we have found works like clockwork for us is the next day after their wedding, the couple wakes up with reels.
Tie them over.
They're tagged.
Yep.
They open their Instagram and they don't even know it, but we just delivered 3, 4, 5 simple reels.
Right.
And then we'll give them a kind of a 30-second highlight, and that holds
And
them
if
over.
they got a ceremony edit, we'll deliver that within a week.
Right. And those things hold them over. And
Yeah.
we have found that we've delivered films 9 months.
9 months was our longest.
9 months was our
Which
longest.
honestly, I'm embarrassed by.
I am embarrassed by that too.
They could have had a honeymoon baby, and the child would have been in the world before their wedding film
Right.
was.
They could have.
It's embarrassing.
But regardless, it was 9 months, but that was a couple that we surprised and we really over delivered the next day, the next week, the next month.
We gave them
with,
content.
with deliverables. And they didn't blink an eye.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't waiting. They
Totally
had stuff.
understood.
Yeah.
Because they saw our work and they knew
Right.
that they were waiting for a reason. And they were, because we had a massive backlog and we were just struggling to keep up.
Yeah, and I would even put in my own words here that anything that's not communicated is too long. I think
Yeah,
as long as
that's a
they
great
know
way
what
to
they're
say
getting into, it's fine, you know?
That's a great way
But
to
I
say
think if you overpromise and then underdeliver, that's where it gets tricky. If you're like, yeah, 3 months, then they're waiting on the 4 month, 5 month.
True.
So yeah, I agree. Our goal for this year, because we finally have a system in place, we're doing way less weddings than last year. We're aiming for 3 to 4 months.
Where did the 3 months come from, though? It's kind of an arbitrary rule that
It
just
is.
got set, and people just
It's just hard when
ran
a
with
lot of
it.
photographers do month turnaround times
Right.
because it's easier to edit.
Yeah.
Andrew Guilford is repping 6 to 8 month averages and thriving.
It just doesn't matter.
It's because he's a solo crew.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters.
And Matthew Reed himself is averaging over 3 months. So he's kind of taking that as like a self-reflection take. So I agree. I do think if they're waiting 3 months to see anything, I don't know why you're doing that.
Yeah,
you
you're
should
late.
be giving them content way quicker than 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the longest then? What do you think is unforgivable? If you think 9 months is kosher,
It's just what the couple agrees on.
would
If
you say
tell-
a year? Getting your film at a year anniversary?
it's not late if the couple knew it. If they said, "Hey, by the way,
But as a
I
business
know,
practice,
I
you think
know
that's-
if you're booking me and I'm crazy behind, it's gonna be probably a year." If the couple books, it's like, yeah, it's a year. I don't think it's a bad practice to
I
say.
think it is.
Yeah, it feels wrong. It feels wrong.
Because wedding films don't take that long to edit.
What if you have 3 million in your back?
3 million. I mean, if you have 100, I think you should. Even
Just
a year is
outsource.
way too crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel wrong to
It
wait a year.
does.
And I have spoken with people who have got their films after a year.
My first 2 years of business, I delivered on their 1 month anniversary.
They're 1 month.
hmm
Yeah, that's a quick turnaround.
But I had less edits, and they were a lot more montagey. So
Yeah.
it was kind of just drag and drop. Interesting take.
By the way, we're not even close to being done.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
reloading.
it keeps on refreshing.
Yeah, they're refreshing now. I think
Yeah,
when
we'll
we
end it.
both tried, I think the Wi-Fi must have been down. It was that 2 o'clock
Yeah.
Wi-Fi going down because there's literally hundreds more.
Okay, we'll just end on this one. Isaac Anderson, this thread needs some aloe with all the burns Adam Grumbo is giving.
Yeah, if you want to see
Yeah,
this,
guys, sorry, we just talked for a long time.
yeah, we thought we were going to end soon, but no. Yeah, if you want to see this legendary thread, there's a lot of good stuff in here, and we'll put a link.
Yeah.
But
Some of these takes are just stupid.
Man, Matthew Reed just keeps going.
Yeah. I love Matthew, bro.
Jeez.
We got to hang out with him.
Yeah.
You guys, if you want to submit your hot takes, join our Facebook group. And also, we're going to link below if you've made it this far. Submit anonymously if you don't want us to call out your name.
Yeah.
This has all been one big marketing campaign to get people to our anonymous form to submit stories. Well, if you don't want your name thrown out, then you should anonymously. And yeah, we'll probably continue this series. It's been fun. I feel like today was a lot more educational
It was.
than it was
Roasts?
for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
Sorry, Alex, but great discussions, man. Thank you, genuinely. But yeah, thank you for
And sorry
sticking
for the
through the
chainsaw, you guys.
construction. Yeah, this has been crazy. Hopefully, we'll never be back at studio. Sorry, Jay.
We're canceling our lease.
Yeah.
All right. That's
See,
all.
have a happy
Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Guys and Tines.
Yeah, for all you losers out there.
See you next week.